Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to style slightly the text fields. Okay, now I could, as we saw before, you've got the opportunity in styling to actually style an entire, every single instance of a particular user interface item, like a text field, or you can create a class which will then you'll apply specifically only to certain examples. Now you can see here that and one very common convention in Web 2.0 application is quite large fonts for text fields. Okay, probably not so important for the large text fields here like comments and abstract, but certainly important for the author, title, URL, and the weeks and things like that. So what I will do here, therefore, is to click on the fields I want to change. Okay, and having clicked on them, then I can, say for example on our textbook title, article author, you'll see there you've got a little field there that says CSS class, okay, and it gives a list of all the classes that I've created. Let's go into my CSS page, mobilestandards.css, okay, and so we simply just open it, okay, and let's create now a class particularly for text fields. So for anyway single line text fields. So let's put it sort of like input text, something like that. Okay, and font size probably. Let's make it sort of like large. Okay, font size large, and font. Sorry, and then let's make the color colon sort of hash. Let's make it slightly green. Okay, so let's make it sort of darkish green, so which would mean therefore that we would have let's see, sort of like 50 sort of like, no, not 50, something like 99 FF9. No, that would be too light. Let's make it AA FF AA. Okay, so that should be a kind of a lightish green colour. Probably needs to be darker than this. It's not very good choice actually, to be honest. But let's see. I can't even think about how it should be at the moment. So there we go. So let's go back to new article.aspx and click on the text field, and as I say, in our CSS class, let's make it input text. Okay, and we'll do exactly the same for all the other fields. CSS class input text, CSS class input text, CSS class here input text. But then for all the other ones, we won't style it. Okay, for the other ones, they'll just be normal text, so that they'll be a normal size, because typically there'll be more text to be put in here. Finally, we have a row in the database we don't really want. Okay, so if we click on it and select both cells in the row and click delete, that will take away that cell. Okay, we don't want. We probably do want these text fields to be the same size, so we could either style them to be actually force them to be a size, but it's just as easy, in fact, to just simply draw them of a particular size here. Although on the other hand, no, that's not true. It might be easier to actually, let's take away the CSS class for the small text field, and then we can actually let's just get rid of all that there. So it's got no class at all, this one. And let's actually, for these ones, let's actually specify the width. So the current width would be something like 230 pixels. Well, let's say that all of them will have 230 pixels by virtue of their class. So let's go into the CSS field, input text, font size, color, width, colon, 230 px. Okay, so that's now specified it very, very clearly what the width of these things should be. Okay, so now if we now kind of go into new article, let's see how. Now the only other thing, probably we don't want the actual the border of this table to be visible. Okay, so let's go into the source to see where the table, our table class is star1, so maybe that it's appearing that it has a border to us, but it probably does not have a border when it's displayed in the browser. Okay, we can only find out by genuinely looking at the browser, so let's do that right now. Click on play. And unfortunately, yes, it does. It does have. Now you see, well, our text has come out at the in the colour we suggested, which is not very good colour. Unfortunately, the sizes have not gone right. I think it's because there's a conflict between the size that's being set in the page and the sizes being set in the style sheet, and we've still got these lines around the table. Okay, so let's just think that while we might appreciate the lines on the left-hand column, we probably don't want any lines on the right-hand column. So that is probably the most likely way to design this nicely. So let's go back into Visual Studio, and again let us see. So there's mobile standards. Let's create a cell. We created a table cell. This is the kind of the typical table cell. Now, the reason why we're getting borders is because we set this for all tables, that they should all have borders. Okay, so but in our case we don't want borders all the time. So let's create a subclass which will actually get rid of the border. So currently we've got TD. Let's make it something like dot borderless. Okay, and border sort of like, I think it's border none should possibly do it. That usually covers most things. And if we say border, actually I'm not sure that's right. Let's just sort of like none naught px. Okay, so that's black. So let's see if I think that will work. I just can't remember, frankly. So let's go back now into new article and click on the design pane. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just go into all those cells here, like this one, where we don't want a border, and we'll say if a class borderless. Okay, so we're going to say for this class here, we're going to make that this class also borderless. I suppose you could probably select all of them and get rid of the border that way. I don't know whether you can or not anyway, so I'm just doing it this rather slow way at the moment, and gradually hopefully getting rid of the borders and all these things. And the other thing we need to slightly change as well is the colour of the text, because it was too light. Okay, so let's go into the CSS file, mobile standards.css, input text AAFFFF. Let's make that 22, and rather than FF, let's make that AA. Okay, so it should be a greenish but darker green. Okay, let's do that. Stop it and start it again. Okay, and choose the new article.aspx as the page to start on. Okay, and if I click on that, well, I still haven't forced the sizes of the text fields to be the same, but we can do that later, I think. Anyway, so there, right. So now we have something which looks really more or less pleasant. Probably, actually, the other fun thing we could do is kind of right align these various tabs here so they're more connected to the thing they're entitling. So let's just do some final things just to make this, let's say, look a bit nicer. So let's select all of these cells. Hopefully, no, that's selecting. I would only want to do the left column cells, unfortunately, but I seem to be selecting every cell. Yes, unfortunately, yes, I can't select just the left column on its own. So anyway, just go into this cell and go into align, which is the text align, and let's make it align right. Okay, and then this one will also align right. Okay, this one also to align right. This to also align right. And this one. And this one. Okay, so we've aligned that now completely to the right. Since we're getting a conflict between the sides we've set here, so all these ones, that's 230. I'll just kind of make them 230 here rather than actually change the style sheet. 230. I'll make this one again 230. And the size of the weak one doesn't really matter. 339. I'll make that 340. And I'll make this one 340. Okay. And again, I'm not sure we probably need borders on that right hand side, but anyway, whatever. Let's maybe this would look nicer if it was centered, but maybe let's not bother with it for now. And then just see what this looks like instead. Again, we bring up the browser, and we have something which is okay. It's not fantastic, but I mean, it will do ultimately. This will do. That's Web 2.0 enough. It's so we've styled it. We've made it look a little more elegant than what it did before. And does it still work? Steve again. Yes, it is darker. Another one. URL HTTP. I'll make that hearts again. www.hearts.ac.uk. Week 7 comments. Nothing really. Notice the text is very different here because we're intending that there should be much more text here than in the other fields. Okay, so anyways, I click on add article to the database, and has it added it to the database? It's not quite. Something's not quite worked here, yes, because I didn't refresh. It has added one, another one. As you see, another one. There should be more text here than the other fields. It's gone to week 7, so I had to refresh it in order to make it appear. And I click on another one. Notice it's black because it hasn't been clicked before. This is not good because it should be the other way around. It should be blue if it's not been clicked before, black if it has. But anyway, what we see is we've now with a number of kind of few little things we've got to sort out. We're getting much more like it now to be a kind of nearly integrated Web 2.0 application. And for the final video, I'm just going to think about ways we can now make this truly Web 2.0 by adding an RSS feed to it.